time for the May meeting of the Wood County Board of Supervisors. I will call that to order. I ask the clerk to please take the roll, which I believe he has, and Supervisor Perlock is online. Calling on Supervisor Voigt. Please come forward for the invocation. And I ask why Supervisor Voigt is working directly that the body please rise and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
This is a prayer for unity. God of peace, we invite you to preside over this meeting. Even if we have different opinions, give us unity of spirit. Help us to each listen politely as others share their points of view. Help us to work as a unified team in combining ideas for a great outcome. Help us to work as a whole rather than as individuals trying to promote their own agenda. May we have a spirit of camaraderie in this room and work together on our shared mission. Strengthen us as we make tough decisions. Let us be effective and decisive. Dear God, infuse in us moral strength. Lord, in your mercy, we ask for your blessing on this day and always. Amen.
Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome everybody. First order of business minutes from the previous meeting. I entertain a motion to approve by Supervisor Hamilton, second by Supervisor Clendenning. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Any discussion on the minutes? All right, all in favor of approval, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. We have no excusals today. We have no resignations. We do have some appointments. Is there any objection to taking those together? Any objection? All right, we have to the Seed Committee as a citizen member for a 2-year term, Joe Balin. The Wood County Library Board for a 3-year term, Susie Feith and Betsy Mansell. And to the Jail Construction Ad Hoc Committee, replacing Supervisor LaFontaine as Supervisor Board. Again, a motion by Lightnum. Oh, yeah. How about all of the county board committees that we put together? We're going to add that too. So, all of the county board committee appointments as well. I had to read what he printed me. I'll explain that in a minute. I just motion by Lightnum, a second by Hamilton. Any discussion? Again, all in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. We're going to have public comment up here, but I'll make it real quick. I rolled into town at 9 o'clock this morning. I had flight delays coming out of Florida. Flights, 6 hours of delays in Chicago after 3 hours of delays in Florida. Canceled flights at 10 minutes to midnight. Every rental car at O'Hare Airport spoken for. Got a ride here and pulled in the parking lot at 9 a.m. So Laura was all prepared to run this meeting, and my wife said, why don't you just let her run the meeting, we'll go sit in the back. So if I tend to nod off, she's going to take over at any moment, because I've been up for about 27, 8 straight hours here at this point. So that's my public comment. So we'll move on to the real public. And I understand we do have a couple of people here from the public that would like to address the body. So for public comment, if you would come to the microphone, introduce yourself. We have a 3-minute time limit, and the clerk will put those up on the screens so the speakers can see those. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. I'm Joe Mansell from the town of Grand Rapids, and I'm here today to encourage the county to form a sustainability committee. And this committee would be able to develop and implement practices that would help to make the county and all the municipalities within the county more sustainable economically, environmentally, and socially. And through the efforts of such a committee, there could be reductions in energy consumption. There could be greater food security by encouraging consumption of locally grown foods. There could be enhanced transportation that serves bicyclists and pedestrians and vehicles. And through this committee, there could be new and existing residential, commercial, and government buildings that are more energy efficient. There could be an very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, bright, beautiful morning out there today. I'm Elizabeth Whalen, I'm a Wisconsin rep. There we go. You want me to be louder? The button, do I press that? Oh, there it is. There we go. Is that better? Can you hear me better? Anyway, I'm Elizabeth Whalen, I live in Wisconsin Rapids. I am Secretary for Clean Green Action, and I actually also am the lead for the Monarchy Pollinator Encouragement Project, and I'm on Bird City, Wisconsin Rapids. So I have a few ducks about, the Sustainability Committee, and kind of wanting to see a little bit more movement towards just kind of making that a priority. Sustainability means a lot of different things to different people, but it's actually a very broad spectrum. It's energy efficiency, it's transportation, making it more broad and available to people across the county. It's conservation issues. It's just wellness, food, like Joe said, food security. It's a lot of different things. But what I'd like to see is a little bit more movement on the county board. And thank you all for serving, by the way. And that this is a great group. And just kind of to have a committee and that so that we can explore these. We have a place where citizens like myself can kind of go to specifically, to kind of just talk about things and to have discussions and see what we can bring forward and move forward as a county. And that we have a lot of wonderful resources around here. There's actually a lot of people that are seeing our area as actually a climate change refuge place, where they're actually planning on moving to Wisconsin, central Wisconsin places, to get away from those huge storms that are happening down south. All of the volatility of obviously we've seen it lately. The firestorms, things like that, water droughts. They're actually looking to come here, and so I think we need to kind of have some things where we're thinking about being prepared in that as well, and doing all of those things in sustainable ways and stuff, and just kind of having some insight and some kind of putting our collective wisdom together there. So thank you so much. Any questions, please go.
Thank you very much. Is there any other public comment? Any other public comment? All right, next on our agenda is acknowledgements and recognitions. We're going to do away with that today. Our child support director is also dealing with a family health issue this morning and asked that we delay this to the following month, so we will honor that request. Moving forward, we are going to have a special order of business, a jail construction update here. After we get to the packet, at that point, we're going to take a short recess. We will empty the room. We will have a closed session in regard to negotiation for the acquisition of property, what was referred to as the Triangle property. We will then reconvene the open session and vote on that issue. So that's kind of where we're headed today. So with that said, let's move into the packet. Beginning on page 4 and going all the way through 7 with those committee appointments. The referrals for me, there were none, and that's on page 8. And then we move into the Operations Committee meeting of May 7th that ran pages 9, 10, and 11. Our monthly update from the County Clerk's Office on 12 and 13. We had pages 14 through 18, the Human Resources Department, their monthly update. We go to the Office of the Treasurer on 19, Employee Wellness on 20, and we have 2 resolutions that deal with budgets on 21 and 22. Is there any objection to us taking those budget amendments together? Any objection? Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Chairman, this will be Resolution 24-5-1 to amend the 2023 budget for employee health benefits for additional expenditures that were not anticipated during the original budget process. Fiscal note, no cost to Wood County. The source of the funding is unanticipated revenues from the health fund stop loss reimbursement. The adjustment to the budget totals $500,000. Resolution 24-5-2 to seek County Board approval to amend the 2024 Wood County Department of Agricultural, Trade, and Consumer Protection grant budget for unanticipated state aid monies and to appropriate those monies to the DATCAP grant budget expenditures. Fiscal note, no cost to Wood County. The source of the funding is unanticipated revenue from the DATCAP in the form of a 2023 DATCAP bond and segregated funds totaling $32,611.29.
And a motion by Supervisor Bucky, unless you were just waving to me, and a second by Supervisor Zerflu. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Again, all in favor, signify, no, go to the
Go
floor.
to the board.
Forget signifying, pick up this little thing, and then we have to sleep. And vote, please.
You need some coffee?
Don't go very far.
We got coffee, ready?
Supervisor Perlock.
Yes.
Thank you. And that resolution, those resolutions passed 19-0. All right, moving forward in the packet, beginning on page 23, running through page 25, the Health and Human Services Committee meeting of April 23rd. Then on page 26, or beginning on 26 and running through 29, the monthly update from the Health Department. We have the monthly update from Human Services beginning on 30, and that runs through 36. And then we go to the Public Safety Committee, their organizational meeting, April 23rd. That's on page 37. And then their regular minutes from Monday, May 13th, on 38 and 39. Any questions on Public Safety? We have the monthly update from the Sheriff's Department, beginning on page 40, and it runs through 63. Page 40 to 63. I'm sure you all had a chance to peruse that one. And then again, the Supervisor Clendani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It was brought up in public comment, I believe, at this meeting with this. People are concerned about the health department and the food in the jail and what happened. I mean, I've got 3 calls about it, not that I eat there, but it's just the idea that people wonder why that was so bad and what the health department found.
Maybe Supervisor Zerflu has comment. I know this was a topic of conversation at the public safety meeting. The sheriff told us it was being addressed. Supervisor Zerflu, do you have anything to add to that?
Mr. Chairman, with permission, I'd like to go off table and ask the sheriff to respond.
Great. I didn't see him hiding there behind Chad, so.
What's the concern of Supervisor Clendani, and we addressed it at public safety. I talked to you about some of the equipment in the jail is at end of life that we've been trying to work that through to get to the new facility. So I haven't talked to you directly alone about it, but if you want to talk about it some more, you know.
Well, it's answering the questions I thought we served our own meals and they don't know that and that wasn't addressed anywhere for people to know that that was. Was it their fault? Was it our fault?
It's revolving on the equipment and then the life of the equipment in the facility, the current facility.
Were there more other questions, more conversation? All right, I don't see any other. I'll move forward then, I guess. Minutes of the Seed Committee, their organizational meeting on April 23rd, and then their regularly scheduled board meeting on May 1st. And that runs pages 65 through 67. 65 to 67. And then we have minutes from Golden Sands Resource Conservation and Development Council, beginning with their Forestry, Agriculture, Wildlife Committee minutes on March 21st. Those run 68 to 77. 68 to 77. There's a monthly update from Land and Water Conservation, begins on 78 and runs through 83. I see Supervisor Lighton, you're looking around, did you have a comment there, or? No? Okay, that's 78 to 83. We have minutes from the Citizens Water Group on 84 and 85. 84 and 85. Office of Planning and Zoning, 86 through 89. 86 through 89. And that brings us to page 90 in your packet, which is a resolution. And if I have the clerk, please read that.
This will be resolution 24-5-3 to terminate the escrow agreement for the City of Marshfield Tax Increment District Number 5 and disperse any remaining funds to the City of Marshfield for use in paying debt service on the city obligations which finance TID Number 5 or distribution to the overlying tax jurisdictions. Fiscal note, no direct cost to Wood County.
Motion by Roser, second by Hamilton. I was gonna let somebody else get their name in the program, but nobody else raised their hand, so. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on the resolution? All right, please vote.
Supervisor Perlock.
Yes.
Thank you. Supervisor Clendenny. Thank you. And that resolution,
Oh,
that resolution passed 19-0. I'm guessing Supervisor Clendenny would like to change his vote.
Turn your pad around.
I was on that flight with
Yeah, did you get the other bills? All right, moving forward. Judicial Legislative Committee, their organizational meeting was April 23rd. And then we have their regular monthly meeting from Friday, May 3rd, pages 92, 3, and 4. We have some notice of injury and claim, and those run from 95 all the way to 102. 95 to 102, notice of injuries and claim. Monthly update from the Child Support Agency on 103. We have this is what we're going to talk about next month when Director Bruink's available, but it's a commendation that came forward in regard to the performance of that department. We have the update from the Clerk of Courts on 105, from Corp Counsel on 106, Register and Probate on 107, Register of Deeds 108, Victim Witness 109. And then that brings us to the organizational meeting of the Highway Department on April 23rd, and that's on page 110. We have the regular monthly meeting of the Highway Infrastructure Recreation Committee on the 2nd of May, and that's pages 111, 112, and 113. We have a monthly update from the Highway Commissioner on begins on 114 and runs through page 119, 114 to 119. Organizational meeting of the PIT Committee on April 23rd as well, page 120. And then their monthly meeting on May 6th, pages 121 and 122. The update from our IT department begins on 123, and that runs through 127. And then I have a resolution on page 128, and I'd ask the clerk to please read the resolution.
At this point, Mr. Chairman, we
We
would,
want to hold that out till we have the,
right, so let's do the jail update
fair
first.
enough. You got it, that makes sense. All right. I told you I would be,
That's no
so,
problem.
special order of business, that's why we have him here. So the, our special order of business is the jail construction update. Kurt, or Ruben, you guys coming up together? One of you, both of you, the two of you together?
Morning, everyone. My name is Kurt Berner from the Samuels Group. For those of you new board members, we are the construction manager that's overseeing the jail project and wanted to give you a brief update. There is a jail committee meeting right after the meeting here, so we're not going to get into a bunch of details, but wanted to give you some high-level updates in regards to how things are progressing out there. You can see the site work is starting to be come together. Concrete's being poured. Interior, you're going to see painting and finishes that are in there. Detention ceilings are put in place, and the building's really starting to come together in regards to finishes. All the rough ends are complete, so you're going to see finishes that are going to happen throughout the balance of this year, the summer. We're still targeting a late fall for substantial completion. I want to explain substantial completion to you. Substantial completion means that it's substantially complete. there are still things that need to be completed. So I think I've shared this with this board before, is a jail is unique in regards to there needs to be a period of time where you have a dry run or training to be able to deal with the training for your staff, the commissioning of all the systems that were in the building, because this building is very sophisticated in regards to the systems. They have to be integrated, how they have to support one another. And that means that we have to set aside some time for that to be able to take place. So targeting a late fall substantial completion means that we have several weeks of training and commissioning that takes place, and we're still looking at early 2025 for inmates to be able to move in. So what that means is that the sheriff and his staff will have time to train, we'll be able to get the commissioning done, and then there's actually a shakedown process where it's evaluation to make sure that it's ready for the inmates to move in. Obviously, once they move in, make sure that they're in place where they need to be, and then the last phase of the project takes place where the demolition of the old jail will take place, and then there's an underground parking and a parking lot that's going to take place on the east side of the campus. So all in all, things are moving along extremely well. We do still have some long lead time materials that we're waiting on that we're promised they'll be here. So all of those things seem to be falling in line. So, any questions from anyone? We'll give you many more details at the jail committee. Any questions from anyone at this point? Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. You want to add anything, Ruby? No?
You're a wise man.
Yeah, you briefly seated, way to go. All right, I'm gonna ask everyone, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
Let's do a motion to go into closed session right now.
Why don't we, you wanna do the recess first? All right, let's take a motion to go into closed session, it's probably parliamentary, by Rosa, second by Schultz. Any discussion?
You have to do a roll call vote or no?
Now if it's unanimous.
Yeah. All in favor, well, let's just by show of hands. All in favor, please, show of hands. All right, opposed? No one, so that looks unanimous to me. All right, we are going to close session. I'd ask everyone who is not a county board supervisor or who's been invited to stay in the meeting, please, at this time, to approve the resolution to amend the budget for $450,000. Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion? I'd ask you to please vote.
Supervisor Perlock. Yes.
And that resolution passes 18-1, 18-1. That brings us to the end of this one. Quick one, Mr. Clendenning, Bill, your dates for your resolutions to the WCR is June 21st or the 24th? 21st. Mr. Clendenning, 24th. Supervisor Clendenning will sit on that state committee, assuming that it's confirmed on the 31st, which I assume it will be. So if you have any resolutions from any of those committees you chair, or any concerns from those committees, make sure you get those off so we get them to where they need to be.
What are the dates for the WCA convention again?
22nd to 24th of September, but don't quote me.
Like the last.
You're gonna announce steering committees,
For the,
they'll do the
The-
24th.
yeah, and the steering committee applications are online, kind of interesting, because they get approved online. They go back to every county board chairman of the respective counties to then sign off on them, and then, believe it or not, they all come to me statewide for final approval. So if there's anybody in this county that wants to serve on the steering committee, you're good to go.
They're good committees if you ever wanted to serve.
All right. Jail committee meeting, right down the hall. Is there anything else that needs to come before this board?
If you were ready to serve.
Doesn't sound like it. I will declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you all.